Qasem Soleimani killed in a U.S. airstrike has killed 40 mourners, according to reports. "52 F-35A Lightning II stealth fighter jets, worth $4.2 billion, took to the runway as Utah's Hill Air Force Base hosted a combat power exercise. The aircraft were used in the drill conducted by the active-duty 388th and Reserve 419th Fighter Wings. An elephant walk, a term for the taxiing of military aircraft before takeoff, was organized as part of the exercise. However, the Air Force insisted it was a coincidence that the number of aircraft used echoed Donald Trump's threat to hit 52 Iranian targets, including cultural sites. Just like the timing, the number is a coincidence. This is the most we can get airborne, Micah Garbarino, a spokesman at the Hill Air Force Base, said. The last F-35A Lightning was delivered in December, 4 years after the first was delivered, bringing the total force of the active-duty 388th and Reserve 419th Fighter Wings to 78 aircraft. Of the 3 active-duty squadrons, 1 is deployed in the Middle East, leaving 2 in Utah, which carried out the mass launch, known in the Air Force as an elephant walk. The exercise represented the achievement of full warfighting capability for the F-35, estimated to be the most expensive military program ever, which has been marked by controversies, technical issues and cost overruns. The F-35A is a conventional takeoff and landing version of the plane. There are also short takeoff and vertical landing, and catapult-assisted takeoff variants. The U.S. plan is ultimately to acquire more than 2,600 of the planes between now and 2037. The president has repeatedly expressed a fascination with the aircraft, once telling an audience that the F-35A was almost like an invisible fighter. The F-35A is not invisible, though it is unusually small and designed to be less visible to radar than conventional aircraft. Trump first startled reporters with talk of an invisible plane in 2017, when he discussed the F-35 at a military briefing in hurricane-hit Puerto Rico. "Amazing job," Trump said. "So amazing we are ordering hundreds of millions of dollars of new airplanes for the Air Force, especially the F-35. You like the F-35. You can't see it. You literally can't see it. It's hard to find a plane you can't see." Technically, the display had been planned for months, but in light of last week's assassination of Iranian General Qasem Soleimani, it took on a new significance. The 388th Fighter Wing said on Facebook, "The exercise, which was planned for months, demonstrated their ability to employ a large force of F-35As, testing readiness in the areas of personnel accountability, aircraft generation, ground operations, flight operations, and combat capability against air and ground targets." A little more than 4 years after receiving their first combat-coded F-35A Lightning II aircraft, Hill's fighter wings have achieved full war-fighting capability. The 419th Fighter Wings tweeted, "We're ready to fly, fight, and win." They added, "The exercise pushed the boundaries and tested our airmen's ability to deploy the F-35 en masse." As tensions grow with Iran, the Pentagon sent 6 B-52 strategic bombers to Diego Garcia, a British-controlled island in the Indian Ocean, CNN reported Monday. The military base will have the B-52s available for operations against Iran if needed. According to the U.S. Air Force, a B-52 can drop bombs on anything in an 8,800-mile radius, 4,480 miles if it is to return to base, of its airbase, but can be refueled mid-air, meaning that it can keep going for as long as its 5-strong staff can. The B-52 can perform strategic attack, close air support, air interdiction, offensive counter-air and maritime operations. According to CNN, the bombers were deployed to the island because it can't be reached by Iranian missiles. This morning, a stampede at the funeral procession of Iran General Qasem Soleimani killed in a U.S. airstrike has killed 40 mourners, according to reports. The funeral has drawn huge crowds with thousands of mourners packing into the streets. But the crowds have now sparked a deadly crush with dozens of people dead in his hometown of Kerman, according to local media. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei wept over the general's casket during his prayers as mourners were seen waving flags in action against the U.S. for the assassination on Friday. President Trump ordered the airstrike after claiming Soleimani he was responsible for killing Americans in Iraq and he was plotting further attacks. The Trump administration was criticized for the move by Democrats, which Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said was necessary, claiming Soleimani was plotting imminent attacks on Americans. In response to the Iraqi parliament's vote to expel U.S. troops, Trump threatened to demand billions of dollars in compensation from Iraq for military investments made there throughout the years. On Sunday, the Iraqi parliament voted to expel U.S. troops from the Middle Eastern nation. But a poorly worded draft memo sent out on Monday, announcing the withdrawal of U.S. troops from Iraq, sparked confusion. A letter addressed to Abdul Amir, deputy commander of Iraq Joint Operations Command, said that America will be repositioning forces over the course of the coming days and weeks as requested. Defense chiefs quickly came out saying that U.S. troops were not leaving the country, and that the letter was a draft and was not meant to be published. When asked by reporters, Defense Secretary Mark Esper told Pentagon said, "There's been no decision whatsoever to leave Iraq. I don't know what that letter is. We're trying to find out where it's coming from, what it is,